Welcome to Please Me, the podcast bringing you bold conversations and big clit energy. Sí, Please Me ahora tiene subtítulos en español. And welcome to my Friday bonus episode series. I'm Eve, your host, on a journey from trauma to sexual liberation. Let's reclaim pleasure and close the orgasm gap, one empowering conversation at a time. Over the past 2 weeks, I've covered everything you need to know about abortion access, types of abortion, and the choices women have when facing an unplanned pregnancy. If you're sexually active and of childbearing age, man or woman, these 2 episodes are a must listen. Did you know that podcasts rely on listener support to keep bringing you the content you love? For the best way to support the show, join me on Patreon for ad-free listening, early releases, bonus episodes, and exclusive content. See show notes for the link. Got a burning question or want a free 10-minute consultation? Download the OWL app and give me a call. Check the show notes for my code to get $10 toward your first chat. Please Me is for mature audiences. Sit back, relax, and surrender to the pleasure of Please Me. Hello, and welcome to Please Me, the Friday bonus episode series. I am Eve, your host, and I am excited to be bringing you this episode today. This episode was inspired by a recent trip that I just had. I was recently in Washington, D.C. for the National Association of Women Business Owners 50th Anniversary Conference, which was really exciting. And I got to participate in the advocacy days where we went to Capitol Hill and we talked to lawmakers. And I specifically spoke with 2 senators from Florida. And it was a really wonderful experience. And while I was in Washington, D.C., there was a big celebration of World Pride. They were having a huge World Pride event in D.C. this year. And this is Pride Month. So I thought that it would be great to do an episode that really speaks to my LGBTQ plus brothers and sisters out there. And it's going to be particularly honoring our trans and non-binary community. And it is a tribute to their bravery and their identity and their resilience in the LGBTQ community. I want to honor all of the LGBTQ voices that have graced the Please Me podcast since its inception. And it's been 2 years now that this show has existed, and it really has been a wonderful journey. And the show is now in the top 2.5% globally of all podcasts, which I'm very proud of. And some of the voices that we heard on the show are Edwin Olivieri, Edward Miskey, Sarah Webb, Demi Wild, Karen Ann Coccioli, Jake Dudinsky, Dr. Zayn Salam, Amethysta Herrick, and Danielle Bezalel. And most recently, in this season 5, Kobe Fox was another LGBTQ member, and he had a powerful 2-part episode that made a huge impact. And I want to say that being a guest on this show that's listened to in over 120 countries and counting is next level coming out. And it's something that I commend each and every one of my brothers and sisters who have been on the show for their strength and their authenticity and their willingness to tell their story. So, with a heavy heart, I want to share also that Kobe Fox, who was on the show this season and did the 2-part series, recently passed away at 42 years old. And I will be doing a tribute episode to him coming up soon. So be on the lookout for that episode as well. So I just want to talk about my personal journey in the LGBTQ community. After my divorce, I had my own sexual awakening, I should say, and I did my own sexual exploration. And during that time, I realized that I was bisexual. And there was a moment in time when I realized that when I actually found myself attracted to a woman, not just her beauty. I've always thought that women are beautiful my whole life, which is something that I recently found out was a term called gynosexual, meaning that you're attracted to feminine things, right? Or feminine people. But it was more than just seeing the beauty in a woman. It was actually seeing the potential for relationship. And so that made me realize that I was actually bisexual. And so I just want to say that sexual identity can shift over time, and there's no fixed point, no deadline, and no one path. Everybody has their own path. And that's why I wanted to mention all of the people that had been on the show prior, because they all share part of that path on the show. And I think it's really interesting. Some didn't come out until their 60s. So it's really a very personal journey. And there really should be no judgment around that journey. Also, coming out is a personal choice. And whether you decide to come out publicly or not is completely up to you. It's a deeply personal choice and not a requirement. Unfortunately, there's an unfair standard where in heterosexual relationships, nobody is expecting them to make an announcement about their sexuality or their orientation. But in LGBTQ relationships, or just in general being part of the community, oftentimes people are expected to come out publicly, which is not necessarily needed, and it should be a choice, just like anything else. Just like abortion choice, so too should coming out be a choice. You define your own journey, and privacy is a right, not a shame. I want to talk a little bit about the policies and the harmful shifts in our rights as members of the LGBTQ community. There's been some alarming legislative changes that are targeting the trans and non binary people, including loss of medical care and gender affirming treatment. There's been legal erasure of gender identity. There's been anti trans education bills and discriminatory public policy. And these laws can compound and cause more harm for an already marginalized community. So I just want to validate my trans and non binary friends. And I just want to say that they are intelligent, they are powerful, they are creative, and they are vital to our LGBTQ plus family. And they're not a political issue, they are people. And I just want to say that I see you. I see you. Some solutions and resources that we can use to help this community: we can support organizations like Trans Lifeline, Point of Pride, the Trevor Project, Planned Parenthood, which helps with gender affirming care. Again, some of these programs are on the chopping block in our current administration, so we will need to be conscious of whether or not they're going to be offering these services in the near future. And then there's the GLMA, which is the LGBTQ plus healthcare equality community. And we need to push back on these harmful laws. We need to contact our lawmakers. We need to attend local advocacy events. We need to donate and volunteer our time to these efforts and encourage the use of telehealth, medicine, and mutual aid networks when the care is denied locally. Finding out what these resources are in your area so that you can access care if needed. I want to just say that Pride is all about building a strong community, whether we are newbies to the LGBTQ community, which I would consider myself a recent newbie in the last several years. I guess now I'm a veteran, but I entered into it late in life. And then there's, of course, the veterans of the movement that have been carrying it for years and years. And then there's the allies that can help to support the LGBTQ community as well. No matter where you are on this journey or how loudly you speak, you belong and we need you. I want to just close by saying that Pride isn't just about rainbow flags and celebration. It's about protection, presence, and power. especially for those most at risk. And today we are honoring our trans and non binary brothers and sisters. Self discovery and self love are lifelong practices, and you deserve both. So let's be voices for the silenced. Let's be lights for the hidden and strength for the vulnerable. That's what pride looks like today and every day. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on pleaseme.online on the contact page. If you want to work with me as a health coach or as an intimacy coach, again, you can reach out to me on pleaseme.online. And if you want to speak to me, I would love to have a conversation with you. You can reach out to me on the OWL app and you can have a free 10-minute call with me. So I will include the number so that you can give me a call. Until next time, happy Pride.
Are you looking for a sexy date? Look no further than SDC.com. SDC.com is the premier ethically non-monogamous website that is worldwide. It also hosts a wealth of information on sexuality and sexual health, and I host a free live webinar monthly on the site. You can use code 37340 for a free trial membership on me, and be sure to reach out on the site and say hello.